Hi and welcome to White Wolf Yoga and to today's class, which is going to be all about releasing tightness and tension from the back of our body, but specifically our hamstrings. So we'll get started in tabletop position. So we've got our shoulders over elbows and wrists, our knees underneath the hips, toes are flat. And we'll just begin by awakening the spine and seeing if we can start to match the movement of the body with the movement of the breath. As we inhale, press into the palms and the tops of the feet. Draw the heart forward, lift the hips and the gaze into cow stretch. And then as we exhale, we'll pull the navel in towards the spine and press and round the back all the way off and into cat stretch. Starting to move in your own time. Inhale to press up, lift and open. And exhale, push back, round off, lifting that heart upward. Once more, inhale, press into cow. And we'll exhale, push back into cat stretch. Now this cat stretch we'll hold. So you're pushing the palms firmly into the floor, lifting the heart up to the sky and draw the chin towards the chest. And we'll give the head here a little shake gently and softly from side to side. So holding here in cat stretch just for a few breaths. Really working on starting to open that back line of the body. The back line of the body running from the soles of the feet all the way up the legs, along the spine, along the neck and down towards the head. And we'll just begin by releasing tension from the neck and the shoulders here as we're gently moving our head from side to side, feeling tension just starting to melt away from the upper back and neck. After a few breaths here, we'll pop ourselves back up into neutral spine, tabletop, and push the hips towards the heels, dropping into child's pose. Starting to slow and deepen that breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling through the belly. From child's pose, we'll pop up all the way back into our tabletop. And we'll start to target our hamstrings here then. So we're pushing nice and firmly through the palms. And we'll send our right leg back and away from the body with the right toes on the floor. As we push into the hands, just pressing that right heel away to start to stretch into the sole there, into the calf, and all the way along the hamstring. Holding a few breaths, really extending as deeply as you can away with that heel. And then let's change legs. Right knee down, left leg away, pressing into the left heel. Nice length all the way along that left leg. And then we'll bring in that left knee back underneath the hip. Let's tuck our toes under here from tabletop. Press into the palms and we'll lift ourselves all the way up into our first down dog. So just giving the heels a little pedal up and down, just seeing how you're doing in the back of the legs, how they're feeling. We're still in the very early stages here of warming the body up, so take this softly and gently. If as you're walking the dog, pedaling the heels up and down, you notice that one leg's tighter than the other. Hold for an extra few breaths on that tighter side, really trying to release. Maybe you can bring in a bit of a rock in the hips as you move them from side to side, just moving upwards from the hamstrings into the hips and the lower back. Keep the head nice and relaxed, so we're looking for releasing tension all the way along the back. After a few breaths here, let's walk it in step by step. We'll bring the feet in towards the hands. We're walking ourselves all the way into forward fold. Okay, nice deep bend in the knees. We'll take the hands onto opposite elbows. Relax the upper body over the lower. And just softly sway from side to side. It's a ragdoll. It's a really nice passive variation of a fold. Because it's maybe not quite so deep, we're not forcing ourselves into a position. We can more or less relax into it. This will enable us to maybe spend a little bit more time here. Allowing ourselves the space to really open. Maybe alternate again between bending one leg and straightening the other, just seeing how that feels. If that feels too much though, stay nice, soft, deep bend in the knees, wherever you need. Any lower back issues, I'd definitely recommend keeping those knees bent throughout. Okay, let's take our time and release. We'll drop the hands away from the elbows, take the hands towards the mat. You can sink into the knees here. We'll take the stretch away from the hamstrings, just so that we can bring in a little bit of a twist. So then the left hand stays grounded, and we're going to inhale the right arm up and into the air, just twisting that right wrist. A couple of times in one direction, a couple of times in the other. And we'll drop the right hand back down onto the floor, and we'll inhale the left arm up and into the air, just twirling it out both ways, and release, sending that left hand back down. Now we've been down in forward fold for quite a while here, so we'll really take our time coming up. Slide the hands on top of the shins, bringing the head to hip height. So we want to come into this halfway point just to give the spine a little bit of time to find its natural alignment, and also to regulate the blood pressure. If you have low blood pressure, sometimes coming up too soon from a forward fold can make you feel lightheaded. I'm the same, I have it, so I just tend to hold on a few extra breaths as I'm coming up. Whenever you're ready, press down through the feet and reach the arms all the way up and into the sky, into prayer above the head. And we'll give the heart a little lift. And then as we exhale, we'll take the hands down, through and past the heart, into the mountain pose. Okay, so from our mountain pose now, we're going to work into a position called pyramid, which is really effective for opening out this part of the body, our hamstrings, and all the way down towards the calves. Now we'll keep the right foot forward and step the left foot back. We don't want to go for a big, giant, wide stance, so keep it quite narrow to start with. And the left foot, as much as we can, we want to be pointed the same direction as the right, so that both toes are pointed forward, the hips are square, and the shoulders are square. If balance is tricky, we don't want to align the feet too closely like this, so take them a little further apart towards the edges of the mat, and that way it's a little bit more of a foundation to base the pose on. Okay, so once the legs are in place, we'll bring the hands onto the hips. We'll just guide the hands around towards the back of the body. Press into the soles of the feet, and let's inhale, lift, barrel the chest. And then as we exhale, we're going to push the hips back. Lead with the head, keep looking forward, 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 and when you feel it's deep enough for you, we'll drop the belly and the chest down over that right leg. Hands can stay on the hips if they're comfy there, or you can send them down towards the ground, your choice. And we're aiming for the legs to be straight, but don't worry if you need a bend, that's always fine. So listen to the body and work with what feels good, what feels right for you. Just hold into this. This is a real intense pose, but a real good one for ironing out any little knots here through the back of the legs. And work with the breath. Maybe we can inhale, pull the head forward away from the hips, and then as we exhale, we could possibly drop a little deeper over that front leg. Another few breaths if we can. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, relax. One last breath, inhale, pull forward, and exhale, relax. Hold and breathe. That right hip pushing back, the left hip pushing forward, just to keep those hips nice and balanced. And when you're ready, let's take our time coming up, head to hip height first. Hang out here as long as you need. We'll take our hands back to our hips and slowly, using the strength of the core to help protect the back, we'll come all the way up. Little lift to the heart, counter stretch, and then back into the midline. Okay, we want to be turning the other way, so can we pivot on our heels so that we're facing the opposite direction now? Left toes are forward, right toes are back. Have a little check that you're happy with the foot position. You don't want to be too far back with that right foot. And go wider with the stance if you want a bit more stability. Hips are square, shoulders are square. So let's go. We'll press through the feet as we inhale, barrel the chest, look up. And then as we exhale, press the hips away. Draw the head forward, keep looking forward, and then you'll feel it when you do. Drop in there. Hands can stay at the hips, or if you want a little bit more, take them down towards the mat. And hold. So you managed to hold on the opposite side a good 5 breaths. We'll see if we can match it here. You might notice a real difference in openness and flexibility from one leg to the other. Just know that that's completely normal, it's natural. If you do become aware of a tighter leg or a tighter limb, spend a little bit more time on that side, and then hopefully, with a little bit of practice and a bit of patience, we can find more alignment, more balance through our posture. Okay, let's inhale. Can we lengthen the head away from the hips? And exhale, maybe drop a little deeper. Another couple of breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Draw the head forward. Exhale, take it down. One last breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to fold. Hold and breathe. Left hip draw them back, right hip draw them forward, keeping those hips nice and balanced. That back leg is engaged, same as the front leg. Okay, nice. Slowly lifting the head all the way up towards hip height. Then we'll take the hands to the hips and pressing down through the soles of the feet, we'll peel all the way back up. Pivoting on the heels again, we're facing forward. Now let's go wide with the stance. So a nice wide stance. For here, actually, the wider the easier this will feel. And then we're going to pigeon toe our feet in. So the toes come towards each other, the heels away. If you're already quite open in the hamstrings, don't take it too wide, keep it narrow. That'll make it more of a challenge. We want our thighs to be nice and strong, our core active. Hands on the hips again, but we'll shift the hands back a little bit more so we've got more of a barrel, more of an openness through our heart. Inhale as we lift heart up to the sky. And then as we exhale, push the hips back, lead with the head, look forward, forward, forward. And then when you feel it's deep enough there along your back, drop the head down. Hands can stay on the hips here, or for a little bit more maybe, send them down towards the ground. If they're comfortably reaching the floor, think about then next stage, walking the hands back in line with the feet. Maybe bringing a bend into the elbow, 90 degrees, so that the crown of the head can come down towards the floor. Keep those kneecaps nice and strong. Strengthening the muscles around the knees helps to protect our joint, but at the same time it allows greater openness through the back of the legs. Let's hang and breathe here for 3. Keep pressing into the feet. 2 and 1. So we walk our hands out first of all in front of the body. You can bend the knees if you need to get the hands on the floor here. We're going to twist this. So left hand stays grounded and inhale, right arm up into the air. Stretch out the wrist if it needs, a little twirl. And then changing sides, right hand down. Pressing through the right hand, inhale, left arm up. Both ways with a twirl. And release. Left hand down. From here, we'll heel toe the feet all the way back in towards each other, so that we're walking ourselves back into fold and relax. So we're coming back into fold. This one we'll hold with a little bit more of an active approach. So before we were in ragdoll, keeping it nice and soft. Here, now that we're more open, we'll see maybe if we can go a tiny bit deeper. So let's drop into our fold and pick our hand position. Now there's a few different options. You could go here with the hands on the back of the calves. You could slide them down towards the back of the ankles, or if you can reach, take the first 2 fingers around the big toes, the thumbs on the toenails, and the elbows out to the side. So just getting used to this position for a few breaths here, holding, softening, relaxing. And then again, we're going to see if we can work with the breath to lengthen. And we're going to move like this. So as we inhale, pull the head away from the hips, lengthen the spine. And then as we exhale, we'll fold them back down. Let's go together for 3 breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it to fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release. One last breath. Inhale, pull the head forward. And exhale, drop the head down and hold. So it really takes about, or at least 30 seconds to properly stretch a muscle. And there's a lot going on in this part of the body that we're focusing on today. So we really want to just give ourselves the space and the opportunity to really release on a deeper level. Give the head a little shake from side to side. Up and down a couple of times. And then let's come out. So we'll come out by releasing the hands. Again, we'll just re-lengthen halfway up. Head to hip height, hold here. And we're not going to come all the way up. So we'll just hang here for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to soften the knees all the way down to bring us into seated. Okay, now from a seated point, we'll slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, just relax the spine all the way down onto the floor. Take the arms nice and wide. Just twisting off here a little, we'll drop the knees towards the right side, turn the head towards the left. And then inhale, and the legs to center. Exhale, knees to the left, head towards the right. Okay, inhale all the way back to center. We're bringing in now this right knee towards the body. Give it a nice big hug, a big squeeze. Okay, then we're going to reach up that right leg all the way into the air. And we're supporting either behind the back of the thigh. If you want a bit more, bypass the knee, so avoid the knee, but you could go towards that right calf or the back of the heel. And it's not important, as always, how straight or how bent this right leg looks. Just see how it feels, that's what's important. If you keep this left knee bent, it's going to be a bit more gentle. If you straighten it out, it's going to feel a lot more intense. So you decide, how do you feel? Whatever's feeling good, hold it there. Okay, and let's see if we can press through that right heel as we lengthen, push the sky away. Then on an exhale, can we use the arms to pull that leg a little closer in? So we're looking for the feeling of a nice deep stretch, not strain, not pain, a nice release. Let's go for another couple of breaths if there's room. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in. Keep those shoulders relaxed. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale in. If you do want a little bit more here, you could pick the head up towards that right leg as you hold for 3. Breathe. 2. And 1. Relax. Head down. Right knee back in towards the body. Bend the right leg, foot flat, and bring the left knee in towards the belly. Give a little squeeze here. Okay, let's take our left leg up in the air. See how we're doing on this left side. Deciding where we want to hold, anywhere but the knee. Do we want the right leg bent, a bit more gentle, straight, a bit deeper? You decide how you're feeling. You can mix up the options if that's what feels good. Let's go on this left side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in. The room, do you want a little bit more? Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, pull in. Maybe picking the head up towards that left leg as we hold and breathe for 3. Hold 2. Take it down, 1. Head back down. Left knee back in towards the body. Bring that left foot on the floor, knee bent, and then we'll take the right knee up to meet the left. Arms nice and wide. So finishing with a twist, left leg over the right. Drop the knees towards the right side, turn the head towards the left. Completely relax. Softening the body from head to toe. Inhale to center, change the cross, right over left, and drop the knees towards the left side, turn the head towards the right. Inhale to center, and cross the legs, and relax.